What's up, people? One Nut Punch here. So I'm going to talk about Knights in Tight Spaces, my impressions playing the demo and playing on the hardest difficulty, which was Heroic, and beating the demo and wanting more. I put about 305 hours in Fights in Tight Spaces, beat the game several times. I still want more, even after the Weapons of Choice DLC that came out, which allowed you to get the gun and do the different types of, like, gun type of, moves, whether it be gut shot, quick shot, stagger shot, or even like counter shot dealing with other things. Knights in Tight Spaces is a completely different aspect of Fights in Tight Spaces. Though a lot of the cards, like Head Smash, Slip, Shift, Quick Kick, all that, are still in game. They're just a different art style. And the other thing about Knights in Tight Spaces that I wasn't really completely aware of or didn't really understand fully was the whole party system. In Fights in Tight Spaces, you have one person. That's it. You have the MI6 agent, female, male, whatever. But in Knights in Tight Spaces, you have a whole party of three. You could have an archer, a mage, a fighter, brawler, and personally, I played the brawler and just tried to go through the game on heroic by myself. And, it kind of works, but when you get to the actual other teammates that join you, you'll have these moments to where you attack them, and then the allies will also attack auto that's near you, like if they're adjacent to you. Say, for example, you're going up to this guy that I'm beating the hell out of as a brawler. If I had an archer or mage that was right next to me and I attacked, they would also attack that character, which is something different from Fights in Tight Spaces, because you have counter, and you have the other units, like the enemy units, that would originally attack you whenever you get hit by them or they have some type of special ability. And that could be said for any of the units from Fights in Tight Spaces into now Knights in Tight Spaces. What they did in fights was that they had like boss that would be able to go at 2 range and hit you for 15 damage. Then they have some units that would have guns and rifles, be able to dodge you and so on. Knights in Tight Spaces has the same thing or same concept with that, and that is they have their own type of skills, or they have their own type of like counter. They have like a spell or a skill. They could also cast abilities depending upon whatever they are. Like my brawler, for example, I was able to cast a fireball, or I was able to heal, and then afterwards I was able to get a mage for other things, whether it be just casting heal or some icicle spell. The other thing is that when you play with multiple characters in a party, you have the cards and then you have the momentum on the bottom. You have combos still, and then you have the turn order. And when you have another unit join you, essentially your momentum goes up by 1. So normally it'd be 3 momentum for your one character, but when the second one joins, it'll be 4. And I don't know what happens after that. You might get 1 more for the third character, since your party is a total of 3 in total. I haven't really got all 3 because every time I try to get the archer, I would lose the archer really fast from dying, whether it be getting swarmed by multiple units, or I just didn't really understand the whole party system fully. And that is something that was later on discovered because I didn't understand too that depending upon the unit I'm selecting, specific cards can be used. So for the archer, you can only use archer cards like quick shot or being able to do like a penetration shot. Once you click on that other character, like the brawler, you can't use the other like archer cards, but you can use the cards that would be meant for you, like front kick, grapple, slip, shift, or even quick block for your character, because that's what you are as a brawler slash warrior. In short, do they have a lot of the things that they had previously from Fights in Tight Spaces? Of course. The only difference is that instead of you being an MI6 agent that is being sent off to fight off these different factions, like the Bikers, the Prisoners, the Jade Staff, or the I Complete I Corporation, and the Assassins, let alone the Rogue Agent, it's now in the medieval ages, you as a knight or some type of warrior going around and kicking the shit out of other characters that are in these tight spaces. And I don't know if they're going to add on to like maybe having destructible environments or using like hay and throwing at something. I'm not sure. They didn't really have anything like that in fights. Though if you do go off to a cliff, they would have red zones like a doorway or a cliffside, like on top of the skyscraper. and you could push stuff off or push people off. They do have that. So they have like out of bounds areas that you can shove, kick, push, and a character will instantaneously die, including yourself. So that is definitely a thing. Again, the UI is a little bit different when it comes down to knights from fights. You have the end turn on the bottom portion of the screen, the right-hand side. You have the momentum, the combo, and then the turn on the middle. And on the left, you have the info for different things, as well as the party on the top left, and then the settings with some other stuff. And I can't wait to see what they do with it, to be honest. I wanted to have my 2 cents and talk about my experience playing this, and it's still incredible to play. But as I was saying beforehand, if I haven't mentioned it yet, there were a couple things I did not like about the demo. The first is that most prevalent is that when you make an action, like say you shoot something with a bow, you kick somebody, or you punch them in the face, you do not hear the sound. Like very vividly, when I go on to fights and I do a 540 roundhouse kick, you're going to hear it. If I punch them in the face with jab, you're going to hear it. If I kick them in the forehead and they fly against the wall and get knockback damage, you're going to hear it. That's the one thing I wish they'd do more with Knights in Tight Spaces. So if I shoot them with a bow and arrow, I want to hear the crunching sound that it hits. If I hit them with a warhammer, I want to hear the smashing sound when I hit them. That's what I'm hoping for when they improve upon it. The other thing is that they have the store and the blacksmith. They have a couple different stores. One, they have a trader that does upgrading of cards and buying a selected amount of cards that you can get, like normally the gym from Fights and Tight Spaces. The other store you can go to is the blacksmith, where you can buy different weapons and armor that are basically better than what you have. You could also buy amulets if they have different things there that you could pick up. I think it's from just normally re-rolling if they don't have what you want on there, and you can equip it onto your character. So other than the stores and the different way that it looks, it's pretty much Fights and Tight Spaces if it was about a couple thousand years beforehand and having agencies and corporations to deal with. But I've been One Nut Punch. This has been another video, and this has been Knights in Tight Spaces. Cannot wait for the release date. Cannot wait for them to put it out. And if they put out another demo, I'm going to play the holy shit out of it because, man, I love the music. I love the way it plays. I love the way it looks. And I cannot wait to see what my parties can do if I get a 3-man party and I just start beating the shit out of random stuff. But like I said, I've been One Nut Punch, and this has been another video. This is Knights in Tight Spaces. And this was the demo, not the main game. And I'll see y'all later in the next one. Thanks for watching.